Hi, this is Mia. This is a short recap of today. I put my watch on so I can keep track of time. This teacher for childbirth 4, at least I can say 4, as of last night, or this morning more, she has a lot of dense notes, and she's really technical about it. And I have a bunch of writing in the corners, and I printed this. I think she had a PDF. I think she had a PDF or something. It wasn't a PowerPoint. It was like a PDF. But she kept saying, "Oh, the school won't let me do a PowerPoint," which I wanted to print 4 on a page, and all the pages are pushed down, so everything is out of whack. And the colors like dark yellow on yellow. So I just came home. My right eye hurt so bad. I was like, we had some fake reading glasses. I was like, I'm gonna get them. I don't even think they have any help, but my eye hurts so bad. I was thinking of watching a movie, and I'm like, I've had these problems going through school since 1998, 1994 is when I started. I've had these problems on and off, just trying to study and read, and this is the worst I've ever had it. When I had a car accident last year, it really messed up, like, the eye, around the eye socket, like in here, is really tender. And I believe that's probably, like, I had to have accommodations at work because of it. After the car accident, I didn't have problems before. I don't like big screens either. We had an older lady, like 70-year-old lady. She had a loud phone, big screen, big letters. Everything was blown up. And I would try to sit in my chair way back here because they got rid of my workstation. I had to use hers was set for her, set for mine. I have to plow. It's 4 o'clock. I went to the library. I was thinking this morning. I was like, I'm gonna go get a couple snacks, like hardly any snacks from the store, and go to the library at 10. But I ended up. My daughter was willing to help me last night because I'm having a hard time. Body ache. Like she's groceries and because we have water allergy from all the chemicals in the water, and the filter does not. I can't tolerate filtered water either, unless it's showered filtered water. Excuse me. I use it. I have filters. I make myself use the filters for sprouted. Like if I soak nuts or seeds. What else do I soak? Yeah, nuts or seeds. I'll use a little bit of spring water or distilled water. You're supposed to use bleached water. I don't, and you end up having to rinse it. So I have the sprouter, a lot of time, or the filter on the sink downstairs. A lot of times, I just use regular water because I'm like, I have to pay for this. But yeah, I really dislike being in poverty and having a lot of allergies because I wouldn't be able to function at all. There's been times I was sick, whether a car accident, whether not knowing I had food allergies, where I just come home, lay on the couch, and I'm still paying for that as far as trying to catch up with my life. I looked back at my hometowns. I was having nostalgia about my hometown, and some of the houses are comparable in price to the ones here. Well, I didn't say anything over $300,000. If you can get something here for under $300,000, you would be getting a deal, and hopefully nothing's wrong with your roof or your plumbing. You can get a basic house here with not many. I mean, you might be able to get one for like $299,999, maybe. Mostly 3, 4, 500 for 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath, 2 baths. I was looking back home there's this giant stink bug on my window. I hope that they don't stink being on the outside of my screen. It's hotter outside as inside. I was going to turn the heat on so if the window's open, taking a chance. Big houses, like 300,000 square feet, and a couple of them, most of them were between like 159,000 to 250, about 250. In my old hometown, which is a very rural area, 2 hours from any town, there's like a city, there's a small town, but there's a city 2 hours south, and there's a very small city 1 hour, like 1 hour north, on the lake near Mackinac Island. I was like, oh, this place is so big. I would be like, my mom would take me to dinner, so I'd be like, there's so many streets. And the town I lived in when I grew up, there was one street light when I moved there, and one fast food restaurant, which was McDonald's. I think they have two lights. And they have Burger King, McDonald's. They had a KFC mixed with Taco Bell. They had Arby's, I don't know. Last time I went, for some reason I was thinking they had more lights. It's like 100% increase. Most of the time I was growing up, they had one light. Then they got 2 lights. Most of the time in that city, the light is on flashing yellow anyway. It's like so little traffic. They just keep it on flashing yellow because there's hardly any cars. So, the timer sensor went like 6 o'clock is bedtime up there. You don't, or 6 o'clock, you're still trying to drive home in rush hour traffic. You're not eating dinner, you're just like, please get home safely, get home at all. I couldn't find, there's a house I saw, actually, there might have been, it's just like, I saw this house, everything wouldn't take, and there was condo, square foot house, like, there was a 3-bed, 2-bath, or 1.5 bath, 2,000 square foot, or 1,400, I don't know, I looked at a few. There was one, what's it, 29,000 or 39,000? Like, over 1,000, like 1,300 square feet or 1,000 square feet house, and it's cheaper than getting a used double wide modular home. And part of me was like, is there anywhere out here, like, you can pay for that in 4 years, and if you pay 20%, 25% down, you could make minimum wage, especially if you had a partner. You could pay it between 2 and 4 years and own a house and be able to afford furniture and be able to afford utilities. I was like, this is crazy. I've paid more than that in rent in a low-income housing for poor people on Section 8. I've paid more than that in 4.5 years. And I'm like sick to my stomach because this is a nice, modern house, clean, well taken care of. Like, you can see some fixtures here that have like no roofs and have like mold everywhere, and you'll be like, oh, it's only $140,000, and it's like, some of them it's like you have to prove that you have the money to model or your house. And it's like, shoot, it's like I might be able to get a mortgage for $140. Now I lost my job, but no, unless I actually sell stuff and become a practitioner. But so, anyways, I wanted to look back at some of the houses, the wooden walls, and the beauty of cabin feel instead of a house, like when you go to a hotel. But of course the pictures are also staged, some of them cold. So this is the folder now that I'm using for unemployment. I don't like carrying around. I think I have even another one. I have these papers I've been filling out on my phone, but they said they might audit me, so I need to. From what I'm understanding, this one says employee search record, but it says employer name and address, contact by email, phone, etc., name of contact, work sought, results, apps, resume submitted. So I think I'm gonna go. I was thinking that this was only for that it was only for the ones I actually called or emailed directly. But I'm thinking that now, shoot, where's the other one? That I should put everything's on my phone, and I have this here that it's going to here. And so I was only writing the places that I contacted. directly, so I'm going to update it. And I did get this a week or two after I filed my first claim. And I was like, oh, I'll just go back. She gave me 3 of these. Go back and do the other one from that first week on, and then take the blank one and make a photocopy. Because if this is just the people that I called and emailed directly, then it's only going to be 1 page. But if it's everything that I've applied, called, trying to go in person, then I need to really have more than 3 copies of this. So I was mad my friend had to go through this, that she actually got unemployment. All of my friends got unemployment within the first 2 weeks. I've got nothing. I earned it and I got nothing. I'm like, God, what happened? What's wrong with me? Yeah, it's because I was a midwifery student. Yeah, business practitioner. It's impossible for me to find a job as a naturopath. You can go somewhere that the ad that says pay $500 a month to lease space, or $850 a month to lease space, or even $200, $100, and it's like, oh, 1 day a week for 4 hours, you can spend $250 a month. It's like, I could pay twice that and get a place full time. I need it full time, and I feel like in my history, people cause a lot of drama with me as far as stealing my ideas, stealing patients, making stuff up about me, trying to use me for information or knowledge, or, like, for instance, if I have a DEA certificate, they would want to use me for that. And I'm too nice to bend over backwards for people, and then I realize I just got sold the Brooklyn Bridge, and I don't like that feeling. So right now I have to, I told myself to put this aside. Not put this aside. Put aside trying to work with other people. And if there's people working in stores as naturopaths, and trying to sell their supplements and working long hour. I read their reviews, working long hours, no breaks, and being a salesman. But you're not really working as a physician. And I've looked at those jobs, but I want to be able to work somewhere where I get my hours and I get to have my space to do my work as quickly as I can without drama. And maybe that's too much to ask for. But anyways, I saw those jobs before I got laid off, and I have been looking on Indeed. I haven't found them since. I forget which store. They're selling supplements. They're naturopaths. They don't have to be naturopaths to work there, but they were specifically saying that. So I got one more book on business, but I don't have time to read. Some habits of successful business women, or I don't know what. And I've got 10 business books, and I'm like, I cannot deal with it. I need, if they approve me for, I'm going to read this book. So whether I get uninsurance or unemployment insurance or not, I'm going to still look for a job, part or full time, because I have kids to take care of. If their dad gave us child support and we had some help, I would just focus on making all of my energy to my naturopathic clinic, because that's the only way I can pay my loans. I'm in debt for that, and any plain job is not going to pay. It'll just be like you're paying money, and you pay nothing but tip of the iceberg for interest. You need to throw down some money, and unfortunately, the more money I make for income-based repayment, you want to pay more than income-based repayment. Once you have that, and you're in a different tax, you necessarily have a lot if you have to pay taxes, too many taxes. I was about to adopt a couple of children. I was getting so they get there. multiple cars, new cars, not junkers, new cars. Their kids have new cars, new bikes, new clothes, always have their hair done, always have solid gold, everything. Like, from babies up, they have all solid gold earrings, all solid gold bracelets. I was like, they're like, oh yeah, they bring that stuff from India and they sell it, under the table, and they have always good backpacks. You see their wrappers and they dump garbage, lots of food, prepackaged food and snacks and candy. I'm like, dang, I just want to work an honest wage, and I'm trying not to complain about it, but I'm like, part of it is they could get more welfares and health cares and food bank and because they have from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 kids, plus grandparents living in the house, so they can get the maximum. And because they're from a different country, they can get ultra maximum. Half these people here are cab drivers, and one of the neighbors is like, in cab and report it less. Like for me, everything goes through my social security number, but if you're getting paid, if someone's handing you cash, you can, so someone's like, yeah, that's why they do that, because then they don't have to report to the housing. Their rent will be a zero, whereas yours is, between $800 and $1,300 a month. And I was like so about to adopt something. I was like, oh, there's gotta be a kid. It's like, I feel like I'm drowning. I feel like I am drowning. I don't really want to milk the system. I just want to be self-sufficient. And when you're being held back, when you just need, kids, they put their foot up and they boost them up over a fence. I just need a boost so that I can use the degree that I got. How is making it and working so hard at being a midwifery and a midwifery student is not. These requirements I'm doing now is a lot less than being in class. I'll tell you that right now. And being on call 24/7, 365, 66 days a year, it is brutal. It's not even like hospital where you can schedule vacations and shifts on, 24 on, 3 days off. It's not even like that. And for it, you have to pay everything. If you have to drive back and forth a bunch of times, you have to pay for parking downtown or wherever. You have to pay for it. If you have to go buy food because you're at a birth for 2 days, then you have to pay for it. There's no financial aid. There's no funds. You're not even getting, you would think you could maybe act as a medical assistant and be paid by whoever's training you, but you can't do that either. And I never understood fully how difficult it was until I did it. And what I'm trying to do is give back to society, give somebody a chance to have an out-of-hospital birth and not do like me and have unattended births. And have a medical professional to say, hey, you're bleeding too much, you need to go to the hospital, or we need to give you a shot of something, and boom, bleeding stops. You're like, amazing. Go to bed. Go use the bathroom, go to bed. I just want, if there's one life I can help, and I want more business at, but if there's some life and death, somebody would have had a home birth on a sister that I could offer this price that's affordable, or their insurance can pay for it, I want to give back and be able to do that. And part of me is kicking myself. I wish I had gone into IT. I wish I had done programming. I wish I had saved up money, gone to traditional medical school, and just or become a nurse and just work long, crazy hours in a hospital somewhere and got flu shots and just ended up being able to be paid a living wage. Right now I'm kicking myself, but my dream is still alive. I promised myself first year of medical school, and all of the politics around it and losing track of why I want to homeopathy or why I want to be able to prescribe prescriptions, why I want to taper people off prescriptions, why I want to be able to provide physical medicine and food allergy help and prescribe imaging and any vaccines. I want to be able to do all that and use my brain to help somebody. That's why I did the naturopathic route, but it's really predominantly you need to open your own place. And that's what's stopping me from working. If I own this house, if our lease didn't say we couldn't work, I would have this as my business address. I would go do only house calls. Not one patient will come into my house or to my house. I have everything liability insurance month. I haven't cashed it in yet. So for Accountability Club, I need to get through this despite this eye problem. I have to cover my eye. Second, I need to, or actually first I need to do this unemployment thing. Second, I need to do this. Third, unfortunately and fortunately, right when I lost my job, I found out I paid off my car because I was so broke, but I was still paying $50 a month extra most time, all the time. And it got me a year and a half or a year and a few months off of payments. And I was so scared something would come up with my low income and that I'd be this close to owning the car. And like, that's the cheapest car I could get, and that it would repo it right before. I'm so grateful. Like, I don't even, like, I've been asking people to pray for me about being able to pay my rent here. And I paid October, and I feel like I don't want to be a slacker. I have been applying for a bunch of jobs, but I'm like, whew, I got October's done. Let me get through this board exam. Phone every time and get some. I'm going to work. I'm not going to work those 3 hours during the exam. Even if I have to finish it in 2, I have to take that exam. Like, I have to take that exam. It's only offered once a year, and I paid a bunch of money for it. So that's where I am right now. I think I'm going to glance at some of these books. I should probably take notes. I've been kind of going through some of these books, like, not very fast. It's also time. It took me like 3 weeks to make this. And it was actually, I had this, I don't know what happened to the necklace I made. I had this therapeutic release and relief. I have a child who's an artist and doesn't function without art and craft and sewing and painting, and even if it's nails. Like, when this child stuff, there'll be like duct tape and paper and across the entire downstairs, and you're like, all the mess I see and all the scissors and all the paper plates and all the sequins are very like peaceful and relaxed and happy right now because you would express yourself. It's like so I'm wondering, I was a major crafter. I almost changed from pre-med to art, and I was getting ready to put together a portfolio, and I was too lazy to put together. That's why I didn't apply for U of M. I applied for Michigan State because I was too lazy to do essay questions, and Michigan State at the time had 0 essay questions. So I would love to wear this. That was the problem. I told myself in the car from the library, you're the one crafting this. You're the one who's responsible for your kids. Nobody else, even their dad's not paying. If you can start selling from your business, your items, you can, maybe not the same, you can still have the same style handmade for yourself for your birthday next year. Like, I was trying to talk myself into not just wearing this necklace that I love now. And I do have some that I made my kids and stuff they don't wear. I've been wearing it because like, who's this? It's pretty. I'm wearing it. It's like, I know I made this. And I'll probably make earrings to go with that, or they're not going to go exactly. It's hard. Or something, and it's not really many matching beads. So that's where I am right now. It's kind of a recap of the earlier videos of me complaining. I went to the library because my book had to be picked up by today. This one, the other libraries, they snatch it off the shelf on that day and they put it back into circulation. This one, they'll let it slide unless that's someone else is on hold. So I said, let's just get it. I neglected the library all summer because I had just midwifery. The library gets me up and like, oh my gosh, this thing was due yesterday. It gets me dressed, gets me up, and gets me drop something off that doesn't necessarily cost money unless I owe 25 cents fine. I order stuff online that's educational, entertaining, etc., and then it's time to pick it up. I can go pick it up, same thing, get dressed, get out of the house, go outside and see other else, I'm not socializing with them. I'm single, bunch of relatives. There's me and my kids, and then if I'm dealing with stuff for my student stuff, then whoever's in that little circle. But it's nobody. There's no one at state. It's been pretty lonely. 11 years since I left my ex. It was pretty lonely before that because he decided I was boring because I was now a parent of 2 young children, and he had to go out and party with single people because I was a boring person. And I was like, wait, these are your kids too. Like, you should be home being bored with me and cleaning foods and stuff off the wall that your toddlers are messing up the house because they're frustrated because mom is exhausted and never gets a break. But anyways, now I don't have anyone to tell to stay home because it's me, the only responsible adult. So that's where I'm on the ride home. There's a big hill that people fly down because it's a small street. It's narrow, and I came down around the corner, so when I stopped and looked both ways, I could see that there was a kid in the street with a scooter. And when I was coming, another car was coming this way, and it's a narrow street. Like, there's no shoulder or anything. The kid stops here, and there's 2 girls looking at this boy. She stops, I stop. She slowly drives past the kid on her side. The kid was on my side. I wait until she's clear, and I go around the kid, and as I was going down, I tapped the horn really lightly. And I don't know if he yelled or cussed at me. I stopped the car because I was like, maybe he needs help. But I'm like, there's 2 kids here, 2 girls watching him. Maybe those are his friends. I'm like, unfortunately, maybe he fell. And he was like, ow. I see kids out here, they fall, and they, ow. But my concern is so many people texting and driving. I've been behind people going like this. Texting, like, it's like, dude, you're about to run a wall or my truck. Like, it is bad. You can't pass them. It is bad. And they're just like this. Sometimes they have both hands, and they're not even looking at and they're just going. I see so many people like that. It scares me. My concern was someone was going to be flying down that hill, even if they weren't texting and driving. And then once you get to where he was, try to slam on the brakes or swerve if there's another car coming and cause a wreck or hit him. So my heart was like, every time I see a kid like that, I'm like, I don't want them to be hurt. If that, there's another kid doing the same thing the other day. And it was like, my daughter asked if it was one of these Africans. I was like, no, it was like a white kid. Another kid was doing the exact same thing. He was like 6 or 7. I didn't see any adults. He was sitting out in the middle of the street, of a narrow street. You can hardly get 2 cars around, and a lot of people park on the grass, so it's like only 1 car can go at a time. He was sitting in the middle of the street like this, staring at me. And I just slowed down to a crawl, and I'm like, if it was a little bit older kid, I would look to see if there's a parent, like, and he just stood there like this. He was sitting like this. We could hardly see him. Same thing if I had been flying through those streets. He stood there like this. I was thinking of waving, but I was like, is he going to play chicken? The kids here, they play chicken. I'm like, 1 mile an hour, just go around, just make sure he doesn't jump on, I've had kids here jump under my car while I was driving to get a basketball or soccer ball. And it's just like, slam on the brakes, put the car in park, turn the engine off, put the emergency brake on, and it's just like, alright, okay, you're under my car, and I was just driving, that ball is really important to you, isn't it? And it's just like, let me help you, because, and I've had a little, girls playing chicken, just jumping in your car, in my parking lot, stick shift on a hill, not parked, and a kid will just come, a 3-year-old will come and sit on my bumper. And sometimes they do that, and I just shut the car, put the brake on, and I'm like, first of all, I don't want you on my bumper. Second of all, I just, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I care about your health. And these kids that play chicken, and they'll jump in front of your car, and you slam the brakes on, and you're just like, hey, 5-year-old, who taught you to do that? Like, can you please be careful? There's so many people flying down the street, and they're not going to see you. Or they're going to be looking to see what house is what, and they're going to be texting, and they're going to be on the phone, or they're going to have a dog in the car, a little kid screaming in the back. Like, can you please be careful? Like, I care. And these kids, they'll flip you off and be angry, throw rocks at you, but it's just like, even when I'm paying attention, my heart beats so fast because I'm like trying to park. They'll run behind your car when you're parking, and you're scared. Like, I can't see. And when I first moved in, it was just like, stop the car in the middle of the street, turn it off, get out. Is there someone behind me? Like, I was super paranoid. Now I'm like, okay, nothing's happened so far. Like, dear God, please. I just want to sit. And the old ladies don't do anything. They'll just walk behind their car, shuffle their feet. And I just learned to stop the car, keep their music on, and put the brake on. So with that, Accountability Club, I'm going to work, and I will let you know how it goes.